guys ever get overwhelmed by all the options of things to put in a journal to the point where you just put off journaling because there's just too many supplies, too many options, and the added pressure of making things beautiful? Well, I have a radical idea for you to ensure that you journal on a regular basis and it's easy and fun. Stay tuned. Guys, I hope you're doing really well today. I am so happy to be here with you to share my process of journaling. And I have talked about this so many times already, but I'm in love with it. It's so easy. It's just a little handmade quick book and it's short term. You can finish it really quickly and you put anything in it. As you collect things, you paste it down into the journal. You don't even have to stop what you're doing to write about it. You just kind of work on it in phases. So I know I've talked about this so many times, but I just want to check in and let you guys know that I'm still doing this. These little journals may last like a week to a week and a half, and I'm calling them punk journals instead of junk journals. Because it's a DIY centered radical way of journaling where you're not required to purchase an expensive journal, a trendy journal, which, hey, I love them, but I can't keep up with those. And sometimes the materials and the book is very precious. And then, it's such a precious journal that you want to make it beautiful, whatever you put in it. So I'm calling it a punk journal because it's messy, it's DIY, it's unfiltered, it is anti-establishment, which is making it have those punk vibes, okay? And so this one is my newest one, the current one that I'm working in, and I'm just showing you how I'm working in it, just to give you some examples of how you can create one and work in it as well. So with these, I'm just doing things in phases. So for this journal, I actually just used colored construction paper. I just thought it's a good idea because the paper was just right there staring at me. I had it from a previous project. So I got a piece of junk mail. Again, it was like the ad for like life insurance and it creates like a nice square shape when you fold it. So I have a video of me creating this on my Patreon, but I have already posted here on YouTube, I think, a process of making one. They're quick, they're easy. It's just made with a quick pamphlet stitch. And yeah, so I had this construction paper and I thought, okay, well, instead of, creating my own backgrounds using mild liners and Tombow markers, just quick grids or lines, this would be an even faster solution is using some colored paper. So you already have a background ready to go and it's inspiring to you. And come to find out, the papers have worked out with my art that I've been creating for Patreon really well because I'm using like very, very vibrant just hues, and just basically the whole rainbow, So it's going pretty well with the things I've made. So with the journals, I'm using numbers to designate the page numbers. I'm not really going by the traditional like daily journaling dated, numbers. I'm just using it as page numbers just so I can still enjoy using those pretty, numbers that other artists make in their collage sheets. And basically that box is pretty much all I have, to pull from as far as things to put in this journal. And I'm including just packaging. I'm including ephemera, which would be the collage sheets from other Patreon accounts like Pocket Journal Pam, Susie's Tiny Desk. Right now I'm following Terribly Creative. And so I just have their art as well as mine in the box. And I have these office stickers, which adds a really quick, really easy additional layering to the journal. So you can see I printed some pictures of events that happened the past couple of weeks, and I'm just using simple masking tape. Masking tape is very inexpensive. You can get, some from Dollar Tree, about $1.25. And I'm just taping them in. There's no pressure to pick out a washi tape or to struggle with the tape sticking for the tip-ins. And there's no worry about not having enough additional space if you want to do any writing. Because I've been tipping them in, I can write behind the images. So yeah, with this journal, I just used some scraps that I found on my desk, of this leftover construction paper. And I did some, additional pasting in to make the pages look even more interesting. So you can see that some of them have really cool shapes and ripped collage pieces to them. And I realized in this journal, I'm doing like a vertical journal, orientation. And so I had to come back and change the orientation of these pictures. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm just really excited about this type of journaling. I think this is my 4th book I've made so far. And yeah, I kind of like it. There's no pressure to journal every single day. And if I have something urgent that I want to write down, I don't have to worry about, oh, it's going to mess up my journal spread, or, oh, it's not going to look aesthetic, or, or anything. I just write what I need to write without any decoration, because I already have colored paper. And so if I write on that colored paper, it already looks kind of interesting. And then from there, you can add stickers, or you can do mark making around your writing, and you can also cover it up with additional tip-ins. Like I tipped in a little die cut from my collage sheets, and that's an eye that has a bunch of eyeballs reflecting in it. So it kind of gives you the sense that you're being watched by a lot of people and observed. And I think that's something that came out subconsciously in my art this past last month. All eyes on me, and I guess related to the worry of that, being observed through social media and trying to make all the eyes happy and that kind of thing. But you might take a different meaning from it. But that's another reason why I really love this type of journaling, because anything that comes from your subconscious can be put into this book. I talked last time about, if you have any dreams or, any lists that you want to write down, any goals, wishes, things that you want to write down, just get it down, And so here I put just, the memory keeping information behind the pictures. So far, this is all I have in my journal. In this current journal is a little bit of memory keeping, because we had a busy week. So, but then later on I will tip in little pictures of things that inspire me. And yeah, recently I was watching some animated Russian programs from like I think the 60s, but watching some really surreal stuff, and I thought it was so cool, and I took a lot of screenshots of the film. So later on, like once a week, I will, collect them and arrange them, on my iPad in Procreate actually. And I'll just make a little collage of all the pictures of screenshots or of things that I've done with my family, and I'll just print it out about once a week. And then it goes in this box. And yeah, so if you think you're collecting too much within that box, you can go ahead and like just put it in your journal like I'm doing right now. I kind of grabbed a bunch of stuff and I said, okay, I'm dedicating this journaling session to getting all this stuff in here. Or, you can go through the box and think about, oh, do I like this? Do I really want this in my journal? Is it still representing me and what I'm interested in? Because you can get a backlog of all of these, screenshots. And, when you take a photo at a family event, we all take a million photos of like subtle changes of position and things of our kids. I do that all the time, but you can always work at this and whittle things down to just the basics and the essentials. So that's what I like about this process and this type of journaling. I'm not collecting too much. I'm not, using any of my vintage ephemera for this. It's not really junk journaling in that sense. It's just an everything book. So yeah, in the front cover, I put in a sticker that was given to me by Terribly Creative. I wasn't thinking about whether it matched anything. I just had that quick, immediate subconscious impulse. I want to put this in. I want to stick this down. I'm not spending too much time agonizing about decisions and design choices and that kind of thing. So this was a package from, I think it was like a phone charger or something, and I really like the texture of the outside of the package, and I love the color. And I also like the little peekaboo kind of hole in there. So I thought that would be a cool interactive piece to put a picture in. And so for glue, especially for something this thick, I'm always using Fabri-Tac because it's quick hold and it does not wrinkle your papers. So it's got a strong smell, but I've just been using it forever. So yeah, this time I watched a bunch of videos about art and, social media and how other people are also finding the way that we use social media to be not helpful to one's life. And it's all to help companies create profit for themselves. And they were saying that the social media websites are created, or they get assistance from people who create slot machines in casinos, And it's so nice to be able to interact with your friends and fellow artists that you like. But at this time on my social media, I can't find the people I care about and that I like. It's just, instant scrolling of these people that I used to follow a long time ago, and they're very popular, but I'm like looking for my people that support me through Patreon, or they have smaller followings. I'm not seeing their stuff, their photos. So it's really hard to maintain relationships that way. And we scroll, just trying to find something that elicits a response from us, and then we find it, and then we want more, and we keep scrolling. It's like a timed positive reinforcement, like interval, just like a slot machine. Like every few pulls of the slot machine, you're gonna get a reward at some point. And that span of time in between the reward is just small enough to where you don't give up. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a tangent. But anyway, I was just watching a lot of videos about other ways that we can connect with each other aside from social media. And I was watching a lady who was talking about Substacks, where she does like a newsletter thing. And it has a really good social component. It's kind of like a blog, but it's got good commenting, and the newsletters go right to somebody's email, so you can stay in touch a lot better. So anyway, that's just what I was watching and listening to while I was journaling, and it made the process much easier and calming. And I actually stayed in the flow a lot longer than usual with journaling. I didn't get bored at all. So this is a scrap of illustrations that my kids made. I wanted to make sure that I got it in my journal. And, like Lydia from February and June, she does like a capsule, ephemera capsule thing of 55 pieces a month. That's what I kind of did on a smaller scale. I just grabbed like a handful of things out of that box that I want to keep and put in my journal. And I just made the commitment to put everything in there. And you can see there's no fancy anything. I'm not really thinking, I'm just sticking things. So these are just some tags from some clothing that I purchased. And that flower, it was made from Terribly Creative. She's really great. I think she made it out of like texture paste, and it's very beautiful textured flower with some glitter in it. I thought it was really pretty. So yeah, I know I've gone on and on for a while, but yeah, just wanted to share the process and show you how easy it is to work in this journal. And I actually organized my little box a few days ago, and all of my screenshot images that serve as inspiration, I put them in a little Ziploc bag, and as well as the office circle stickers are in a little bag in addition. So it's just more organized in there, and it's really easy and smooth to work from. So I hope this helps you guys, and I would really love to hear any of your thoughts or questions about this punk journal. And lately I have been kind of going through all of my journaling supplies and all of my vintage ephemera and things, and I've kind of put them away. I got rid of stuff that I don't like anymore, and I'm just going to dedicate my vintage ephemera just to serve as inspiration or to send in happy mail or things like that. So yeah, so I've put that away, so it's just less complicated. It's like a simple way of journaling, and I can really appreciate the actual art that my fellow peers are creating, and I would love to give them more attention than all the old ephemera, or like commercial products from a scrapbook store and things like that, because it's expensive, and I think it's nice to elevate other people that don't have access to all those big resources, like to a scrapbook company kind of thing. So yeah, just using my masking tape and tipping in some pictures from a recent event I attended at the kids' school. They had a spring fling, and we were outside, and there was all kinds of different events. And in one of these pictures, there's a kind of like an art gallery, but it says student art. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a banner that says student art. And my daughter helped make it. So I was so proud of her. But they had all the kids' art, and they had bracelets and things for sale. So the point was to help raise money so the school can grow and add additional buildings. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would like to say. I don't like editing videos to where I'm going to be silent for some of it and then pump music on and then, cut back in and turn the music down. I had somebody mention that they had an auditory processing disorder, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that was an issue. And so she said that the music was louder than the talking, I think. And that annoys me to no end when that happens with other people who create videos. So I am not going to be doing songs in my videos. I hope you guys are okay with that. But I use an app to help edit my videos. And sometimes I'll use songs that they have, and I will credit the person, like you're supposed to do, and then I'll get a copyright claim weeks or months later. And I just thought it's not worth it to me. And I know there's all kinds of other things like Epidemic Sound and all this, but I just don't have a ton of money for all these subscriptions. So I'm just trying to keep it simple. So I really do like the time to like talk with you guys and tell you what's going on, in my life and my thought process behind, this journal style that I'm using. So I hope you guys appreciate it and that it's not too like chatty or overwhelming. I wanted to mention there's some new stamps at the post office by this artist, and they're so cool. They're like pop art and like really graphic. And I realized that big picture is also on the adhesive. So I'm like, oh, that's like a free sticker. So I saved that to put it in my journal, and I used my corner rounders to make it look a little fancier. And yeah, I realized that he has already passed away, but he looks so young in this picture. And he was born in 1923. His name's Roy Lichtenstein, I think. But yeah, he was born in 1923. And yeah, he looks so young in this picture. I just can't believe it. So anyway, I was really happy to put his stamps on some mail that I sent out. I have a tier on my Patreon where I'll print all of my collage sheets in really nice full color, and it's nice quality paper. And so yeah, I like doing that because I can put a lot of stamps, like a lot of visual stuff, like more visual stuff on the mail. So I use like real postage stamps. So that's how I acquired that one. And they were huge stamps. Yeah, I'm just adding some circle stickers as usual. Yeah, so I'll probably have this filled up in maybe 2 weeks, a week and a half to 2 weeks, because I did add more paper this time, just a little more. But the whole reason behind using a few sheets is it's just an easy win. You fill it up and you're just like, oh, this is so satisfying to see that I finished a journal and it's all chunky, and it's just fun to go through because it just looks curious and messy and raw. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like pretty, I don't know. Yeah, taking the time and putting off journaling because you have to make a spread look beautiful, and presentable. You don't find time to do it, and before you know it, you're just behind in your journaling. And there's people who are really into daily journaling, and I think that's awesome that they can do it. I can't keep up with it, and I see a lot of people who say, oh, I'm a month behind and I'm coming back to finish up. And I just don't, I can't do it. I can't do it myself because I feel like you're not in that moment anymore of that memory. You know what I mean? And you already wrote it down somewhere, and that's how you remember, to journal in your real journal and to create this whole spread dedicated to it. And I just would never be able to find the energy to do that personally myself. Because I don't know how to explain it. I don't see the purpose in like going back and like writing an entry every single day, for a month that happened. Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to write, oh, today nothing happened and I brushed my teeth and I watched a YouTube video. And then you decorate the whole thing with like everybody's collage sheets. I can't do it. I really can't do it. But so I hope this serves as another option for you guys, that it will bring some simplicity and ease. And, there's no right way to journal. I know there's all types of different, journaling styles and formats. And yeah, so, life can be simple. It can be flexible. You can redesign things. You can, customize things to fit and complement your life. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to have the official type of journal. You don't have to have a specific type of fountain pen in order to do this. And you don't need the watercolors to do this and that. you know, before you know it, you've spent all this money and you have all this clutter, and the stuff wasn't you anyway. You know what I mean? It wasn't you the whole time. Like, I don't like watercolor painting, you know? I let other people do that, and other people are really talented in that. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm a watercolorist and get watercolor out and start painting in a journal. I can't do that. And there's a lot of people that do that. Like, it's almost a scene. It's almost like an aesthetic, or a subculture kind of thing, you know. And I just have tried to fit that mold, and I can't do it. It doesn't, you know, work for me. So I'm the most energetic when, I guess, there's spontaneity involved, and there's novelty, there's newness, you know. I mean, at some point, this will probably even become boring to me, but that's why I'm trying to make it different each time. You know, like this one, I used like all the different color papers, just to make it different. So, yeah, maybe there's a week or a whole month where you don't have pictures of anything. You know, it's like, okay, so what? Just write in it, or create in it, you know, or write your dreams down, or write mundane observations, like literally, oh, it's windy outside. I mean, anything, because all of these things are you. They are pieces of you and your experience, okay? Like, there's a nice breeze today. So what? Put it in your journal. You know, anything. You know, there's no rules, and you guys have to stop creating standards for everything, for everything, and making these rules. So definitely be yourself and be as simple as you want to be in your journal, and, you know, write about what you want and make it look like what you want, you know. I think the more wonky and crazy it looks, I think it's the most interesting. It's more interesting that way, because you're unfiltering yourself and your design and your thoughts and your art and stuff, and you're getting to the rawness and the subconscious of yourself. And yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm going off on tangents, but yeah, I can talk more about like the subconscious and what I think about it on my next video. But the video is almost over. And I know that I have been rambling, and maybe you can just think of this as kind of like a podcast, or, you know, with a demonstration of, you know, how I'm journaling. Yeah. Oh, that little card there, it says bocce time. My 9-year-old daughter, she competed in a bocce ball tournament at her school, and she won both rounds. And she won against 2 boy teams, and I just thought that was cool. Like, not that, you know, oh, boys, girls better. I just thought it was really cool, and, you know, just like boosted her self-esteem a lot. But they were so sweet. All of the kids were really nice sportsmen, and the game looks actually really fun. And the court actually inspired me on a design that I can make in my art for next month. So that's why I like this style of journaling, because you capture every experience, every thought, every, you know, piece of little packaging, or anything, because then it can lead to future ideas, you know, even problem solving in your own life. You know, you just never know the links that you can create between your experiences, you know, your daily experiences, and then your future plans and ideas and solutions and things. So I hope this made sense, guys, and I really thank you for watching for this long. If you're interested in my art, please see my Patreon in the link provided. I release collage sheets every month, and I release journal with me videos and things like that. And please, I would love if you can like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really trying to grow, and I want to keep in touch with you to keep this punk journal going. Love you guys.